actually get to flip over the reed. This is kind of my scary part. I always get nervous here. I don't know why. Just get a flat surface. I like to bring back the razor blade because I have this flat surface over here. What we will do, so in the cane you'll see a center, and mine actually, there's a line. It should be a line in there somewhere. And you will flip over the reed. What you want to do though at this point is check to make sure that it all lines up. So if one side is actually fatter than the other and it overhangs, you can shave that down a little bit with sandpaper, which is perfect. And this is when you want to just make sure that it just fits together. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect, like I said earlier. There's no perfect reed, which I know for all of you perfectionists out there, it's kind of hard to admit, but there's no perfect reed, so just try and bear with it. Okay, so now we have this folded piece together. Okay, so now I actually like to step back and get things prepared, because that's how I like to do things. The next part we're going to do is put the wires on the reed. And for this you'll need your brass wire and your nose pliers. Okay, so I like to, you need 3 pieces, so I like to go ahead and cut about, it doesn't have to be exact, I would say anywhere between 2 and 4 inches just to overdo it. Now I have 3 pieces of wire. Ta-da! Okay. So you'll need your manual around, your ruler and your pencil. This is not a ruler, but you need your ruler and your pencil. Okay, so go ahead and flip that reed back over again. Now you have a reed like this. Well, I'm going to keep saying reed. It's not technically a reed yet, but reed, you have your reed like this. And then what we're going to do is you are going to measure. It doesn't have to be exact yet because this is the first time we're doing this. This actually process goes on for a couple of days and you'll just keep adjusting each day. But just for sakes and kicks, I'm going to go ahead and measure 1/8 of an inch away from the collar. And that technically should be where your ridge is, but if not, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Okay, so you can either mark that with a pencil or not. Mine works with my ridge, so that works. Okay, so this is where you're going to put your first wire. What you are going to do, so your reed is facing you, and the wire is on the back side. So I know right now that's facing you and not me. So this is the front, this is the back. Okay, so put your wire where you're going to put it. Now, with your, I like to hold it with my thumb in the center towards me, and then one of my fingers on the back holding the wire. What you're going to do is actually bring the wires closer together to make a U. So a U. And then bring the right arm over the left. Cross it over. So now we have this in the front. This is the back still. And then we're going to bring the wire arms towards the back. So now this is the front and this is the back. Okay, so the arms should be pointed away from you right now. And then you can flip over the reed or turn it towards you so that the arms are towards you again. And what you're going to do is you again right over left and then twist counterclockwise. And just twist a couple of times. Okay, so now I have this really sloppy looking long arm. So this is the back now with 2 of them and the front. Now right now I didn't do it earlier, but if the wire, so there should be 2 wires in the back parallel. If they cross over, uncross them. It doesn't work if they're crossover. So make sure they're uncrossed and they're still parallel. And if they're really loose like it is right now, we're going to fix that. So what you're going to do, you're going to take your pliers, and you are going to, well, I'm going to cut mine a little shorter because this is too long for my pliers. Okay, so now what you're going to do, if you hold your pliers perpendicular with the reed, so the wire is actually in between the pliers, what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way towards. So you're in the center of the reed right now. Vertically, you're in the center of the reed. And you're going to go all the way towards the cane. And you're going to try to hold it without trying to break it right now. So I like to do a little cross action right here. Pull and twist counterclockwise. You actually want to go all the way to the edge of the cane. So you pull and twist. And this takes a bit, but the point is that you get all the wires tightened. So this is tightening the wires, and we're going to do this all over and over and over and over again. So just occasionally check the back and on the sides to make sure it's not loose and the wires are not apart from each other. They actually should be touching each other, the two wires in the back. We have our first wire, and this is always will be called wire number 1 or first wire. So we're going to do that. I will say, some people, I know like Stez Bassoons, their website was telling me, and I've actually seen people do this, where they will stop at the first wire, and they will put in their mandrel tip, which we're about to do in a second, and then they will take a shoestring and wrap it up, and they'll wrap the bassoon cane as if it's a baseball glove, and fitting it and getting it into shape. And so that they'll leave it like that for about a week or 2 sometimes, and this will, for them that works. But before we get on the second wire, we are going to insert into the mandrel, or insert the mandrel. So what we're going to do, you should see a little narrow opening, sometimes they're wider, sometimes they're not. Insert the mandrel very slowly, very gentle, be very gentle, this is a very slow process. And I like to do twisting actions, so slowly push in, and on occasion retract, and just push it back in. And we were trying to mold the cane, so it actually takes a little while, so don't just shove it in there. Where do we stop? So on my mandrel, there's actually 3 lines. There it is. So there's 3 lines on mine, 3 little grooves. I like to go to an imaginary 4th line above the 3rd line. So if there's another line above that. So I like to say that's where I always stop, because that's where my vocal fits. Some people have different specifications. Equal spacing, yeah, equal temperament spacing. But remember, slowly go in. Sometimes you need to come back out. It's on. Now we're going to do something really fast that's called crimping. And then what it does, it breaks down the cane. And so this will help form that round shape again. And what I like to use is the back of the pliers, so that way it's not too much pressure or too much force in the front, but it still has enough pressure to actually break it down. And this, you have to do very slowly and very carefully, but put enough pressure on there so that it's actually doing its job. We're just going to do this very gently for this first time. You only do a little bit. It's just to go, hello, cane, we're waking you up now. And so I just like to go back and forth across the reed. And you can turn it a little and get different angles. Once I get that second wire on, I actually like to really go all the way around.